okay, if I drop you in a desert island, would you lose weight?
It's not your hormones.
It's not your hormones. I promise you, your hormones are not going to keep you from losing fat when you're completely starving yourself. You're not at a calorie deficit. You're just not.
Or you got to think of fat loss like a swimming pool. Try to drain from the deep end. The water's not going to come out just from the deep end. It's going to come out from the whole pool. That's how you got to look at your fat loss. You can't look at it as, oh, I'm going to remove from this area, and you hose water out. The whole pool is going to kind of go down together.
No amount of working out is going to allow you to lose fat if you're not controlling the nutrition part of it. Not very impressive.
Well, that's pretty good. So we've been talking to a lot of our members, right? And these are smart people. Like, these are educated people for the most part. Some of you guys are not that smart. But you won't believe how many of these educated people still believe that you can like spot reduce. So they'll come up to me like, oh, we've been doing all this, it's great, and I feel great, but I still have a little belly fat. Can we do more crunches? And what do you say to that? Don't call them.
Stop it.
Don't call them.
Stop that right now.
Don't call them what you want to call them.
What's crazy about that is that it's people who should quote unquote know better, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. I mean that in the way that they've heard our messaging, and I'd like to think that we have talked about that a million times, and they've heard other smart fitness influencers and coaches talk about this, and for whatever reason, it's just a hard pill to swallow.
It doesn't resonate. Like
that there is one way to lose body fat, which we're gonna get into in detail.
Yeah.
But it's not trying to do crunches to lose my belly fat.
It's so funny because you'll tell them, look, it's all gonna come from, all from different places. You don't know, you can't really control, and they're like, okay, yeah, good. But anyway, I still have this area, but I want to do more tricep because I still have this, and you're like, well, in one ear and out the other, I guess.
So we're here to hammer down the point once again, talk about the science, the myths, how to actually lose body fat, and
let's beat this dead horse.
Let's. Watch out.
Well, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Be Fit Brothers podcast. As usual, I'm Victor, that's Julian, and we're here in Be Fit. We love it here. You will too if you come by and check it out. And this is the podcast that we talk about fitness stuff. We still don't have the sentence, guys. We still don't have the sentence, but we're going to get it.
We simplify fitness for everyday folks.
Like you and I.
And yada yada fitness commentary.
Yada yada fitness commentary. That's what you guys are coming here to talk about.
Whatever is happening out in the fitness world, we're going to take it.
We're on it.
Run it through our filter and give you the truth.
We're going to spoon feed it to you.
You can't handle the truth. And that's a perfect segue to this episode, because this is a truth that a lot of people just can't handle. And I really want to get into the psychology of that. But let's start with this myth, this pervasive myth that if I want to lose the fat from behind my arm, I just got to do a lot of tricep extensions and really work these triceps so that I can burn that fat back there.
I don't blame people for thinking that. It seems like that's what would happen, right? Like,
yeah, common sense.
Yeah, like, okay, I work back here, I build muscle back here, the fat goes away. Like, that just kind of seems to make sense.
And to a certain extent, if you work a certain muscle group, you are changing the distribution of like the body composition of said area. So if you do build muscle in an area, and let's just say your calories stay the same, you're gonna have more muscle because compared to what you had before, percentage of muscle to fat.
So you're saying I can spot reduce?
No. I don't even know if I should have said that.
I know.
I'm gonna confuse people again.
No.
This is what's known in the more science fitness world as spot reduction.
Yeah.
So the idea that if I want to reduce fat in an area, I just need to train that area.
So you got an area reduction.
Area
Who calls
51.
it a spot? Who calls it a spot? I want to lose it from this spot. What are you, a Dalmatian? Look at that little van. Cool. Very cool little van.
Mm-hmm. It looks like it would be like a cartoon van. Like it has like eyes in the front.
It looks like the Mystery Machine. Guys, you missed it. Really cool little van.
Anywho.
Yeah, go on. Go on with the chlorophyll.
So, you don't have to believe us. You can go look at the research. They've done studies on spot reduction. And to this day, there's no real evidence that you can target fat loss in a specific area by working that area. And you would think that all you need to do is say that once, and people will be like, oh, okay, that doesn't work. So then what is the way?
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
But I just want to start there. The spot reduction, the fact that it's been proven not to work, and then we're going to get deep into this. So
you didn't mention the anecdote that I think you're the one that told me, or you wrote it somewhere. Maybe it was in my dreams, that you got to think of fat loss like a swimming pool. that if you try to drain from the deep end, the water's not going to come out just from the deep end. It's going to come out from the whole pool. So that's how you got to look at your fat loss. You can't look at it as, oh, I'm going to remove from this area, and you hose water out. The whole pool is going to kind of go down together, and you can't control from which spot.
Yeah, and conversely, when you gain fat, you don't choose where you gain it, right?
I went in my ass, right to my ass, right to my ass.
And it's kind of the same thing. You know, the body is going, and that has a lot to do with genetics.
Yep.
But the body is going to gain, it's going to store fat in whatever areas. And then as you drop fat, we're about to get into how to do that. You also can't choose. You know, you might have like what we call problem areas. Usually it's the belly.
And men and women differ.
We have slightly different ones. There are better, quote unquote, like from a health standpoint, there are better places to store fat that are not as dangerous. Like having a lot of fat, like intra-abdominal fat. Those people that you see with a giant belly and they don't seem to have much fat anywhere else, that's like the worst case scenario. It's good to have it distributed. It's good to have it in the lower body.
And like we said, it's unfortunate because you can't choose. It's not like you're like, oh man, you chose badly. You picked the belly.
You picked the belly, man. Come on. You got to do more crunches, bro.
Fool. Yeah, man. Why don't you just do more crunches?
Exactly. Sure, the belly's in the way, but hey. So what is the only way to lose fat?
Caloric deficit.
Good old calorie deficit. Nobody wants to internalize, but it is what it is.
So what is caloric deficit for a complete beginner?
Simply put, it's the balance between the amount of calories that you eat versus the amount of calories that you burn. You need to be eating or consuming less calories than you're burning. So there needs to be a negative balance. If you're looking at it like a bank account, I guess.
Be like the average American. Spend more than you
make. Be like the average American, yeah.
Spend more than you make.
Be in debt.
Yeah. Be in debt calorically, not financially.
In even simpler terms, eat less.
Yeah.
That's literally how you lose fat. Eat less.
Yeah.
That's it. It's as simple as that.
This is going to be a short podcast.
All right,
this is going to be a short one.
But that sounds like super condescending, and I'm not going to mention me getting myself in trouble by saying...
But yeah, I mean, it comes down to it. If you think about it, it couldn't be simpler. Burn more than what you're eating.
And simple doesn't mean easy.
No,
I know what you're saying.
It just sounds like how it is. Like burn more than what you eat. That's it.
I think one of the things that I always love, and you've talked about this before in the podcast, but I love to say is that any type of diet that people are like become passionate about, whether it's keto or carnivore or macro tracking or intuitive eating, whatever it is, they all distill down to calorie deficit. Yeah. Now, it doesn't matter, if you're more of an intermittent fasting type of person and I'm more of a tracking my macros. At the end of the day, the common denominator of why you got lean or why you lost fat on that diet is that you were restricting calories in one way or another. For some people, that might mean I have to count them. For somebody else, it means I have to eliminate processed food or eliminate alcohol or eliminate something. Yeah. Anytime you're eliminating something, you're eliminating calories from that. So I just want everybody to know that there is no magic to any of these diets. It's the fact that for whatever reason, whatever you decided to do, you chose to lower your calories in one way or another.
Yeah, and don't demonize a particular food group. It's like people always pick on carbs, like, oh, I'm just going to eat less carbs. And it's not the carbs that are doing it. It's the amount of calories you're consuming in those carbs. The reason that we would choose carbs, I would say, is because protein just tends to be more filling. And if you eat a lot of carbs and not enough protein, you're going to be hungry again.
What you're saying there too is it's smart because there was a diet called If It Fits Your Macros. It was very popular in the early Instagram days. Yeah. And I was actually a fan because what it basically said is that, and by the way, this is true, if you stick within your calorie range, you can kind of eat whatever you want. So you can lose fat. There's been people that have done experiments where you can lose fat eating only Twinkies, eating only potato. Some guy did a potato diet. He lost a bunch of weight. His blood markers got better. Imagine no protein, like
I do love potatoes.
Just potatoes, yeah, but imagine eating only potatoes for like 30 days. But anyway,
too many potatoes.
If It Fits Your Macros basically meant as long as I get to my macros, my 40% of my diet is carbs, 30% is protein, 20% is fat. As long as I get there at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I eat. I could have had that in one meal. I could have had that in 6 meals. I could have had like a bunch of candy. And okay, I used up all my carbs. And now it doesn't matter how you got there. And these people are losing weight. It fits your macros. Now, here's my criticism of that is that just because something helps you lose weight or lose fat doesn't mean it's the healthiest or most nutritious.
You still have to check your blood markers. You still have to check all that stuff.
Well, not just that, but like, there are certain rules, and if you want to know more about diet rules, listen to our last podcast. Our first rule is prioritize protein. So if you're only eating this happens a lot to vegans, right? They're eating a lot of vegetables and they tend to eat a lot of processed foods too. Just to, they're hungry and they can't eat a lot of animal products, so they tend to lower their protein a lot. So they're not getting the most nutritious diet. So what I'm trying to say is that yes, you can just kind of starve yourself little by little, because that's what calorie deficit really means. You're starving yourself slowly.
Little by little.
But there's a smarter way to do it. Don't fill your calories with candy and empty calories and junk food. Try to eat more nutritious things.
Thanks.
This is another intervention. Let's talk about the relationship between exercise and nutrition when it comes to fat loss. One of these uncomfortable truths when it comes to dieting and losing weight and getting fit in general is that burning calories with exercise, like counting your calories and worrying about the calories that you're burning with exercise, isn't going to do you as much of a benefit as controlling the diet. What I'm trying to say is that it's so easy to eat back all the calories that you burn. Like so easy. Like you could kill yourself running for 40 minutes, burn 400 calories.
You'll get it back in a
go
Starbucks
eat two
drink.
Krispy Kreme donuts or one Starbucks drink, and boom, there it is. So if you're playing that balance game, you're gonna lose that game.
Yeah, and that's why what I like to emphasize with the clients is that why strength training is so important, because you're actually building like your engine to burn more fat. You're not just
all
playing,
the time.
Yeah, you're not just playing that game of, oh, I burned 300 calories on my run. I have these 300 calories to play and eat with. No, you are constantly burning fat, so your body is more of a machine of burning these calories. You don't have to worry so much about that back and forth of, oh, I burned 300, I get to eat 300. Like you don't have to do that whole balancing act.
That's exactly why we were talking about with a few members, and they're always surprised at the fact that we as trainers we don't eat like as clean as people might think. Like we can quote unquote get away with eating, sugary things or like a really gigantic meal, and we don't gain weight. I know it sucks to hear that. You're gonna hate to hear people like, screw you, I wish I had that problem. But the dirty little secret is we're lean. That's it. That's a secret. When you're lean, when you have a lot of muscle and not a lot of fat, you can get away with eating more because your body is a fat burning machine. The thing about muscle is that it's very metabolically active. It requires calories to keep. That's why bodybuilders eat so much.
Yeah.
So once you get lean and you stay lean for a while, guess what? You don't have to eat like super, super healthy, and you can quote unquote get away with it. However, I know that's not helpful for most people because like, okay, great, good for you, but I'm not lean.
Just get lean.
So how the hell do I get there? And I promise we're going to get to that. We're going to tell you exactly how to do it. But I was just trying to go off of your point, which is strength train, build that muscle, because muscle is your best friend when it comes to this whole fitness and health thing.
I like to think of it like you're hiring more little workers for the bottom of your Titanic. You know how on the bottom of the Titanic they were shoveling the little coal, all that stuff?
They were dancing.
Yeah, you're dancing. So you're hiring more little dancers. No, so when you strength train, you're recruiting more of those little guys. So your body's going to be more efficient at grabbing these calories and burning them and getting them out.
That's a great way to think about it.
I like to think of my body like Osmosis Jones. Little tiny people doing stuff in there. You blew a guy?
Was he blue? So I know that the listeners are thinking of objections, which is, okay, but I have these problem areas. Like, I don't like that, which no one says hi with the jiggle of their tricep, but for some reason, everybody thinks like, I just want to be firm when I say hi vigorously to people.
I don't want to be how I'm on a parade float.
The amount of people that have, let's face it, women.
Whoa!
It's true. That have done this. Like, I just don't want all this jiggle.
And I'm like, look, I have jiggle.
And it's like, I have problem areas, so shouldn't I target those muscle groups? What do you say?
I mean, you should target every muscle group. I feel like that's pretty much it. I go back to the pool analogy, and I would use that with a client. Like, what, you're going to choose just one area, and you think nitpicking on that area is going to help you? I mean, like you said, and I don't even know if I want to say it, obviously you're going to put on muscle, but that does not necessarily mean that you're going to burn the fat off that area. So if that's where you store your fat, you're going to have to work a little harder, and you're going to have to burn from your whole body, and that's going to eventually cause, it's not going to happen right away, because if this is your problem area, sadly, it's probably going to be the last thing to go.
Great answer. And I also think that, as a matter of fact, you work that area all the time. Let's say it's the triceps, because that's the example we're working on.
Yeah.
You work and you work and you work, and you're pigging out when you leave the gym. You might get bigger. Like that area might actually grow. Your arms might get bigger because, again, you're messing up that balance. You're eating calories. This is how bodybuilders bulk up. They're literally training hard, eating a lot so that they can grow muscle, and then there's hypertrophy. There's growth in that area. So if your idea is to slim down your arms, that's not going to be a great idea. Now, I'm not telling you don't work out your triceps at all.
And then also don't think, oh, I'm going to try to get them leaner, so I'm going to do high rep, low weight. No, another misconception that we should get into.
This is if I had to give you a game plan, it would be this. It's train as hard as you can to build muscle, train every muscle group, train the big muscles more than the little muscles, even though, the tricep might be your problem area, but you have to train the lats that none of you are thinking about. You got to train the lats more than you train the triceps. Why? Because it's a bigger muscle group. You're using more muscles when you train your lats. And at the end of the day, the goal isn't to work this specific area to lose fat. It's to get this muscle, this precious muscle, while I restrict my calories and lose the fat that sits over the muscle. That's your goal. Is that simple enough? Is that something that makes sense? You guys comment below.
Makes sense to me, but I know we're gonna have some pushback.
And by the way, when you lose, anytime you're dieting, let's say you are at a calorie deficit, you're not just gonna lose fat. You're probably gonna lose muscle too, like 9 times out of 10. So you're trying to resistance train or lift weights so that you can so that you can preserve as much of that precious lean mass as you possibly can, because the body is just like I said, it's like a mini starvation. It's just trying to get rid of weight, get rid of weight, and it doesn't discriminate. It's not just gonna get rid of the fat that you want, it gets rid of muscle too.
Yeah, and then that becomes a problem when people start doing cardio and things like that as a form of, but I'm just gonna do cardio because I just want to lose the fat.
It's a huge problem.
Yeah, no, you do not want to do that. Do not want to do that.
It's such a big mistake. The people that just, I need to diet and do cardio before I come and work out with you guys. It's like, no, do not do that. Trust me.
Just start strength training. It's
also
from the much less strenuous on your body, especially if you're overweight.
So here's what I'm really interested in is, why is this so hard to accept? Why is it that people that should know better or have heard this messaging over and over again still struggle to come to terms with the fact that that little excess fat that you have that you're struggling with is because you're probably not restricting your calories enough?
I'm going to attribute it to misinformation. You're constantly getting spoon-fed by these influencers, by magazines. It's like the 20 best exercises for that hip dip, or, you want summer abs? Do this. And it's like an ab circuit. And it's like, this is all wrong. Like, these are not the things you should be telling people. So I really do blame like the media and social media now. It's like they're trying to tell you, I did these little bullshit to try to give myself a smaller waist. And it's like, no, that's not what you should be telling them. You should be telling them what we're telling you. Build muscle, train your whole body evenly, train back more than you're pushing muscles. All these little things, train in a caloric deficit. But
I'm glad you brought that up because I hadn't even thought of that side of the equation. But yeah, let's go with that because that's a really good one. So I think we talk about this in every episode, but when it comes to social media, you're trying to get attention. So anything that gets attention, that is bold and assertive, is always going to get more attention. What you said, that second part, is not sexy. Like, train every muscle group, do progressive overload, eat at a calorie deficit, and just do that for a long time. The 5 best
exercises for your core, and it's back squats and farmer's carries, and people are like, how are these for my abs?
It's the old, this has become very popular, is POV. I started doing this one exercise and my waist got slimmer, my butt got bigger.
With the kettlebell swings.
Bullshit. There is no one exercise that slimmed down your waist. First of all, exercise doesn't slim down your waist. Let's go there. Let's do that. Let's just go there right now.
Let's just call that what it is.
So it's like, I completely agree with you, man. It's misinformation and all these claims by influencers. It's so annoying.
It's like men's health is to blame too. It's like, how I blasted my triceps, and it's like an exaggeration of a tricep superset or tricep. You're like, you don't got to do all that. Like, if you're a bodybuilder, it's a different story. Don't misconstrue this and think I'm saying it for bodybuilders shouldn't do triceps and completely train to failure. Obviously, you should. But for the general general population, if you're trying to just burn fat and lose from that specific area, a tricep for your triceps isn't going to do it.
Yeah, and also keep in mind that genetics reign supreme. You got to understand that fitness influencers represent a very, very outlier percentage of the population who have really good genes, really good genetics.
I saw her before and after.
Yeah, great. I mean, I could have really good genetics, let myself go for 3 years, get my shit together again, and all of a sudden I look amazing.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you, who've been struggling for your whole life and maybe don't have such good genetics, are gonna follow that program and look the same. As a matter of fact, I dare you to do it. Try it. I'm sure you guys have tried it. You've tried the program, you tried the diet of this influencer. It didn't work because you don't have those genetics.
We have empirical evidence here because we've trained, and it's funny. You train like a group of friends, let's say 2 friends.
Yep.
They do the same thing. They might even eat the same if they're roommates, if there's something. Or
and by the way, that's the hardest part. You can't control what people eat.
Yeah.
You know, you can never do an experiment where you're doing exactly the same. But I get your point.
You don't remember those 2 kids that Maynard used to train? That it was what was his name? That they were from FIU.
Caucasian individual and
a Caucasian individual, and I believe the other was of African American descent. Yeah. I think it was those. And one of them got significantly bigger than the other one doing the same exercises.
We won't say who.
Yeah, no. But one of them got significantly bigger than the other, doing the exact same thing. And it's like, is this guy, working harder, eating better? Probably not. Like, they were probably putting in the same amount of effort. They were coming into all the same workouts.
I always use the analogy of the football team, right? And I worked with multiple football teams when I was studying exercise science. And does the quarterback work less hard than the linebacker? No, but one of them just happens to be jacked, and the other one, I mean, quarterbacks get made fun of all the time. I mean, besides Jalen Hurts, who's like, I would say is like
Josh Allen,
an exception.
Physical specimens.
They're not like jacked. Like without a shirt on, they're nothing impressive. But then these other guys are like, they're doing the same workouts, guys, the same exact workouts. And I promise you, the kicker works just as hard as the other people, and the kicker looks like a little dweeb out there.
In high school, let's say you're in high school, you're a freshman. I was a little shit, a little tiny thing, freshman, 15 years old. Then there's another freshman whose neck is the size of my torso. And I'm like, well, one of us was meant to play football and get really big. And the other one was meant to be.
Exactly. I think we've gotten the point across that that's the misinformation part. Now, here's what I was going to bring up to this. I think that, and this gets a little more philosophical, so bear with me for a second. But I think that we are, when it comes to our own behavior, like we'd like to think or say that we do certain things, but we are subconsciously doing other things, like the opposite of that. A lot of times it's subconscious. Like when people's, let's say stepping away from fitness for a second, like we like to think that we're righteous and we always do the right thing. I'll give you a good analogy. Driving, right? When you're speeding, it's because you're in a hurry and it's justified, right? But when somebody else speeds by you, it's like, that asshole.
All right, speed racer.
When you're going slow, it's because I have my 2 kids in the back, or whatever reason, I'm hauling something and I'm going really slow, so I'm justified. But when somebody else goes slow, bro, Sunday driver, get out of the way. Right? So that justifying your own behavior, you always have the right excuse.
Yeah.
Other people don't. What I'm trying to say with that is that the amount of people who think they're eating healthy, think they're eating in a calorie deficit, think they're doing everything right, I just don't get it. It must be the hormones. That's what it always comes down to. It must be the hormones. Tell me about your snacking.
I was going to
tell me about, write down everything you actually ate.
I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday. I told her, I was like, and that's why it's important to meet with somebody, with a dietitian or something at some point, because people always say what you just said, but I've tried everything.
I'm doing the right thing.
Like, you've tried everything. Yeah, like you just said, write down your whole thing. All
of a sudden, they never want to do that. They never want to write down exactly what they ate.
20 crackers, and it's like, what? Like, nothing about this is right.
Or you start asking questions, you'll be like, do you ever, at your office, do you ever, when your coworker offers you candy or whatever they have, do you ever take it? Oh, well, yeah, the person next to me has, in their drawer always keeps candy. Or
the most common one for me is like, no, I eat amazing. I eat at a caloric deficit. Yeah, and then the weekend, what do you do on the weekend?
The weekend.
Oh, well, Friday night I go out to eat, and then Saturday I have a brunch here, and then Sunday it's like, well, you just ruined your whole week with your caloric.
It doesn't work that way where 4 days out of the week you can do really good, and then the 3 days, no, it starts to even itself out. Even if you're a caloric deficit for 5 days, you can mess it all up in the next 2.
I think that's one of the biggest errors of people is they think of their caloric expenditure and their caloric deficit and all of this in a day-by-day basis. Oh, I killed it on Monday. I killed it on Tuesday. I killed it on Wednesday. It's like you got to look at it from Sunday through Monday. Like, how'd you do all week? Look at your calories from a weekly point of view. You could still go up over your calories. If you did great Monday through Thursday and completely butcher it Friday through Sunday, you can still go over.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
And you will.
You will.
Because it's a lot easier to overeat than to, have that little 300 to 500 calorie deficit per day.
A few items of fried food and some dessert, and you're already pretty much done.
Yep. So I think that's why I say it's unconscious, because a lot of people genuinely believe that they're doing the right thing and that they're on point.
Yep.
As soon as you start asking questions, they realize, and it's not a conscious thing. They realize that, oh wow, actually, this is where I've been messing up.
Or
and
like, oh, this little yogurt that I've been eating for years that I thought was healthy actually has a lot more calories than I thought and a lot less protein content. Or one of those. Like,
that's my next point, is that you think you're on point, but you're not. We start asking about salad dressing. We start asking about your snacks. Oh, but I thought nuts were healthy. Oh, but I eat a whole avocado every morning. It's like, yeah, that's healthy, but it's a lot of calories.
Yeah, but I drink Gatorade. Gatorade is good for you, right? It has electrolytes.
Exactly.
And stuff.
Or it's like, oh, I've been eating chicken. Okay, well, is it chicken thigh or is it chicken breast? Because those are two different things. I've been eating meat. Is it a ribeye or is it a filet mignon? Like, those are
replace Coke with juice. I'm good. I'm drinking
and
juice.
let's not go too far. I fall for this all the time. Like, I used to buy these Costco burgers. I still buy Costco burgers. I think they're just shy of 400 calories each, but I'm thinking pure protein. Yeah. It's a burger, you know? I think it was like 85-15 protein to fat ratio.
Don't ruin this for me. That's lunch today.
Dude, it's like, no, it was just a lot more calories of fat than I thought. I thought it was pure protein, even though I knew better because, 15% is fat. But I realized, man, this is why bodybuilders eat super lean things, chicken breast, turkey, ground turkey. That has like virtually zero fat. So what I'm trying to say is that you might think you're eating pure protein or you're having a certain amount of like a macro split, but calories are sneaking in there somehow, and that's why you're not losing weight.
All I had was my protein shake, and then you look at your protein shake, you had a pre-bottled one, there's a crazy amount of sugars in it if you bought the wrong one, or the protein to carb ratio is off. So yeah, you might think you're doing the right thing, but if you put it under a microscope, you're going to discover the truth.
All right, so now I'm going to go into my Julian mode. It's a little more harsh. Whenever somebody tells me, okay, let's backtrack. I wouldn't actually say this to the client, even though a lot of you think I might. But whenever someone tells me I'm just struggling so much, it must be the hormones. I'm like, okay, if I drop you in a desert island, would you lose weight?
You're talking to me?
Would you?
I would die.
Everyone would lose weight.
I'll probably die in a heartbeat.
Right? What does that tell you? It tells you that
it's not your hormones.
It's not your hormones. I promise you, your hormones are not going to keep you from losing fat when you're completely starving yourself. So it's a harsh thing to say, but what I really mean is that you're not at a calorie deficit. You're just not.
Or you're cutting it too close, maybe. Like, you're trying to lose this dramatic amount of weight, and you're only under consuming like 50 calories, 100 calories. Like, that's not enough.
And this is why keto works, carnivore works, because what it really does is you're not eating like an asshole anymore. Yeah. If I can only eat meat, that means all the bad shit that I eat all the time, including alcohol, is all of a sudden eliminated. Yep. So guess what? You're going to lose weight dramatically.
Yep.
That's why people report in the first few weeks losing 15, 20 pounds. And it's like, wow, this is crazy. Guess what? You're not eating like an asshole anymore. So I think that that's something good to learn, to know every time that you're trying to make excuses for yourself as to why you're not losing weight. I must be eating too much. Like, that's got to be it.
Yeah, and I just recommend to somebody, if you're struggling with that and you're too, I don't want to say oblivious is the word, or if you're too set in your ways or in denial, if you talk to a dietitian and have them, or literally just be honest with yourself, man, and write down everything you eat. I think a lot of you are going to be surprised. Be honest with
yourself. I love that. Call yourself out, you know?
And don't say oh, I ate this burger and this. No, write it down so you can have empirical evidence. Look at it yourself and be like, okay, damn, I overdid it.
Yeah, and it's everything that you eat throughout the day. It's not just your 3 meals. It's you came to I always use the office as an example because I hear this all the time from you guys. I hear that you walked into the office and they had breakfast there for you, and it was pure carbs, donuts and bagels and this and that. So you took 2 bites, write it down. Somebody offered you something, write it down. You had a cafecito at the gym, sorry, but write it down. That's sugar, pure sugar that you're having. So my next point was metabolic adaptation. Here's the other side of the equation. It's the people that don't eat enough or have dieted for so long. Here's this inconvenient little reality about the body is that the body adapts. So if you diet down, you're at a calorie deficit, everything's going well, then one day you stop losing weight. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, man, I'm stuck. Yep. Your body adapts. So you can actually overdo it. And then what the body starts doing is this person's starving me. So I gotta figure this out. I gotta slow down metabolism. I gotta do what I gotta do. So one of the inconvenient things is that the body adapts to that lower deficit, and then you might either have to take a diet break and then go back to the diet. There's different schools of thought when it comes to this, but my whole point being that what's working for you in the beginning, in like the first month, might not work for you 6 months later.
Yep.
There's a strategy to this.
Yep.
That's why working with coaches is important. But my best remedy, my best piece of advice is what we've been saying from the beginning: lift weights, get muscular. Because if you get muscular, that metabolism has no choice but to keep ramping itself up.
Yeah.
I have to maintain this muscle.
You don't really have to worry too much about
You
that
don't.
whole game of back and forth.
You don't.
Oh, changing my diet up. Like you have that, your factory's, burning efficiently. So like you said, yeah, get lean is unfortunately like the dirty little secret.
And I would also say that, like, if you're listening and thinking, oh, that's my problem, I just don't eat enough, I don't think so.
It's like a 95,
this is rare.
Yeah,
This
it's like
is
a
rare. If you have
95% chance you're wrong.
If you have excess body fat, you're good. You don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm not eating. Like, starve yourself a little bit. Seriously, that's what
the
works.
clip. That's the clip I'm putting in the front.
Okay, all right.
Starve yourself a little bit is what I'm putting in the front.
Is that an unhealthy thing to say as a fitness professional?
Cocaine and cigarettes would be my recommendation.
That works.
Starve yourself, and I'll say cocaine and cigarettes.
That works. I knew someone that did a lot of ecstasy and lost a shit ton of weight.
He did. He looked like shit, though.
Yeah, it didn't look great. I wouldn't recommend that.
Shout out to him. I'm just kidding.
So if we had to give advice to one of these people that comes up to us, look, I have these problem areas, like I need to work on this so I can lose my belly fat, what would be like practical, tactical tips that they can use?
Oh, I work with one that asks me almost every week, so I could tell you.
And doesn't listen.
And doesn't listen to me, but she's absorbed enough that she was telling me yesterday what she tells other people, and I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad it's finally like kind of getting through to you. Is the first thing I'll tell you if you really are struggling is write down your weekly intake of food. Just write it down. It's not that hard, guys.
Yeah, you
Write
don't
it
have
down
to
on your
use any of
phone.
these apps or anything. Just
Write it down so you can look at yourself and be like, okay, yeah, I am over snacking, or I'm eating too much at dinner, or all this stuff.
And hold on, let me stop you right there. Don't do what a lot of people do. Oh, I'm writing things down, so let me clean up my act so that,
Write down your
so that it looks really good on paper.
Yeah, write down. Don't do like you're going to the dentist, you're going to brush your teeth like you're selling them on eBay. Like, actually do your real week. If not, you're cheating. You're only lying to yourself.
Yeah, this is for you at the end of the day.
The dietitian's not going to judge and be like, look at this slob. So you might.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. He's very empathetic with our clients. That's it, just with the clients. But that's what my first piece of advice would be. Be completely transparent with yourself. Be honest. Write things down. What you're eating, what you're working out, your workouts. And just like, be honest with yourself. Don't, like you said, don't behave better just because you're tracking it. That would definitely be my number one piece of advice. And if that's not working, then I would say consult some sort of professional, whether it's a trainer, a dietitian, not a friend that's done it before, because usually what works for somebody won't work for you.
Yeah, and also on that same note, you do need to speak to professionals because, your friend, what do they know? They're gonna talk to you like they know everything.
Yeah.
But the reality is they're going based off of their biased information of what worked for them. That's just one anecdote, and they could have done it completely wrong. You can lose weight in a million wrong ways.
Like the person that tells you hot yoga is the truth. It's the way that I burned all my fat.
Hot yoga.
I was going to mention another modality of training, but we're trying to have somebody on to talk about it, so I don't want to mention it.
Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to giving people advice, I like to make it as simple as possible. This whole tracking, weighing your food, that works, but is it realistic and practical for most people? No. So what I like to tell people is I'm a big fan of eliminating a bunch of stuff and sticking to certain things. Like if you stick to mostly whole foods and eat a lot of protein and that's it, that's your diet, you're probably gonna lose some fat. So, because I promise you, everyone listening right now is eating things that they know they shouldn't be eating. And I know that's really hard. It's easier said than done. Yeah, I do it. God knows I do it.
Again, simple does not mean easy. We can't.
Simple does not mean easy, but it really works. If you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to cut the sweets. Some of the rules we had. I'm going to cut the sweets. I'm going to not eat out. I'm going to cut fast food. And I'm going to focus on protein, veggies, good carbs, good fats. That's all I'm going to focus on. Forget calories. Do that for a month. I promise you, you're going to lose fat.
Even if you're a trained individual or somebody that's already quote unquote lean, for example, when I dropped soda, I noticed that the little pooch that I have here started melting away. And it's like, it's just one thing, one decision you made. So we all kind of have these vices and these habits. Sure. Your ice cream, you're a Haagen-Dazs addict.
With me, what I did in the beginning of the year, the dopamine detox, I wasn't allowing myself to eat like those super sugary things, and I wasn't allowed to have beer, right? The beer that I drink, it's like 200 calories per beer. It's IPA, so it's the strongest, it has the most hops. So if you're drinking four or five of those beers, which I can easily do, that's
I've seen it.
it's 1,000 calories, over 1,000 calories of junk,
Yeah,
right?
empty
So
AF.
if you simply stop drinking the wine, stop having the beer, stop having the ice cream, you don't need to do anything else. My diet, the rest of my diet could stay exactly the same, and I'm already gonna lose fat.
Yeah.
And it happens. Like right now in this challenge, I'm already losing fat even though I'm trying to gain weight because I'm not drinking as much. I'm not eating, the ice cream as often. So sometimes it's as simple as stop eating the stuff that you're not supposed to be eating, that you know you're not supposed to be eating, and that's it.
Yeah, the ultra processed
That is calorie
stuff,
deficit. That's it.
I mean, I think everybody just needs to, and that goes back to my tip, just analyze what you're doing. Analyze it, be transparent with yourself, cut out what you said, your vice or whatever it may be, and that alone is going to be enough for results.
Yep, and then on the exercise part of it, lift weights,
Yeah.
do it often, maybe minimum 2 to 3 times a week. And then just understand that more is not necessarily better. I say this all the time, and I can't believe I haven't said it this whole episode, but no amount of working out is going to allow you to lose fat if you're not controlling the nutrition part of it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people try
But
to
what if I burn 1,000
stack
calories a day?
workouts. They try to do, oh no, I got to do more. Oh, this isn't working, so let me do 2 a days. Let me do 2 workouts on the same day. And I'm like, it's unnecessary as long as you can control
Not only is it
what you
unnecessary,
eat.
but then, from my experience, the more I work out, the hungrier I am. So like,
That too.
there's like a catch-22 there. You if you do 2 strength training workouts, like these football players, those guys are starving. They're gonna consume like 8,000 calories after that because you're starving. Your body demands it.
Yep.
So
Michael Phelps, who was consuming 10,000 calories a day when he
Yeah.
was like in his peak like swimming form.
Yeah, imagine that.
But you're not Michael Phelps. And I guess we should attack this whole problem area spot reduction thing. Like you said, train every muscle group. If, let's say your problem area is your belly, that seems to be like most people's problem area. If you stay consistent with the lifting of the weights and the calorie deficit, you're smart about it, you're tracking things, and you're going down progressively over time, that belly fat will go down.
Yeah.
It will.
Has
It's
no
only a
choice.
matter of
Has
time.
no choice.
It's only a matter of time. But don't get impatient. We didn't talk about it in this podcast, but another problem is that people get impatient. They want instant gratification. They fall for fads.
Yep.
They fall for shortcuts and all this stuff. Oh, if this isn't working, what you really need is a
And they
fat burner.
switch
What you
before
really need is
yeah.
this. And they just didn't stick to it long enough.
Or
That's
they
all it
see,
was.
like, oh, my arms are looking leaner, my legs are looking leaner, but I still have this belly. It's just never gonna go down. It's like, well, yeah, your belly was huge, so it's gonna take, you might just not see it yet. So
Yup.
it's also harder for people to notice on themselves because
And you might
see yourself every day.
plateau, and that's a normal part of
Yeah.
the game. You got to understand that you might completely plateau for 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, boom, your body responds again.
Yep.
You don't have to switch up your
I was gonna
training
say,
or anything.
doesn't that mean you have to change anything up? Because people get, like you said, they get impatient. They're like, oh, okay, no, it's been a month and I haven't lost any more body fat.
I think that's why you should consult with a professional. And by the way, people don't do this enough. Like, you can text us, you can DM us. Like, we're gonna be happy to guide you, right? A lot of people, they just like bump their head through the wall and keep messing. Like, the amount of times that I've found out from a client or a member that, oh, they've been doing this thing for the last few months. I'm like, why didn't you freaking tell me?
Yeah.
I would have told you that that's a scam.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're embarrassed about it or they don't want to bother us, but it's better to ask the expert. And it's like, oh, okay, I can feel, what's the word? Peace of mind that I am on the right track.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not
sometimes you're on the
wasting my
wrong
time. I'm
let's
not
face
wasting
it,
my
sometimes
time
you're
or
on the
money.
wrong track.
Yeah.
Like, we're saying stick to the plan, but what if your plan sucks? You
Yeah.
know? Only an expert will be able to tell you.
What if your plan is Herbalife and fat burners? Stick to your plan.
You might be doing a really, really shitty workout plan that I could just tell you, hey, if you just switch these things
Yeah.
around, it's gonna give you more bang for your buck.
Yep.
So, like, for example, this is the last thing I'll say about this is a lot of our members now, because of the challenge, are doing 2 a days or 2 times a day. I don't recommend, unless you're a professional athlete, I don't recommend that anybody works out more than once a day, because the real gains from exercise come from recovery. So you actually have to focus more on sleeping and recovering as opposed to doing more, because remember, exercise causes damage and then you have to recover from that damage. If you work out twice a day, that's damage stacked on top of damage, So
That's something you kind of got to beat over people's head is like, don't feel guilty about resting. Like, people demonize resting or like relaxing as a bad thing. It's like, sometimes you need it.
or they think they have to go hard every time in
Yeah.
the gym. No, there could be a light day. There could
Yeah.
be a stretching day. There could be a mobility day.
Oh, trust me, there is.
I know you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, there is.
I think that drives the point home, but did we do it justice? Can you guys maybe expand on why you think a lot of people struggle with this idea of spot reduction and
We'd love to
losing
know.
fat from specific places.
Why do you guys ask us all the time?
Yes, you ask us all the time, so let's hear it from you.
Yeah, I want to hear it from the horse's mouth or whatever this thing is.
Yep.
Also, comment below if you want to see me do a split before November.
Oh, all right.
Keep me accountable. With that, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Be Fat Brothers
Podcast. You said be fat on purpose?
Oh,
How do I let all the fat go to my ass?
like this.